I'm standing up here on the road between the neighbors and our fields. You can see behind these pillars, that is our area, all 13 rye. And when you look carefully on the road, you can see how torn up it is by the tractors and the mini tractor Kubota machine that has been here. The reason I'm standing here is to show you how overflow water from our neighbors is still flowing and flooding into our area, down this path, under the road, and out here. And if you could see it carefully, you would be able to see on the surface we have a lot of fish. This is presumably the maximum water level we will be able to carry in our big klong that is opened here for water to flow in, and down there in that corner near the corner of the cister, the water is flowing out, and I will go down there and show you in a moment. We have had almost a whole week full of rain, so we have had the flooding of all the fields and roads and lower areas. Last week I even went to visit Nalung at her work, and on the way back I passed the police station in Champra, and the road on the way up to the main road was flooded with water, about 10 centimeters high on the place where the motorbike could go through, maybe even higher in some other places. During the week that we had the rain, this klong, this canal, was so full of water that it almost erased the difference between the field and the klong. This is what I call muddy water. When you look upon the water in the big klong, it's more dark, it's more black, and why it is that I don't really know. So if you have any ideas what is going on here, yeah, I can see them. I can see two orange fish swimming around in the grasses over there near the side of the water where you have the grasses. They are not very big, but they are big. And then you have a lot of baby fish down there too, and presumably they can be the parents of those fish. Why else should they be there? And there I have another one that just came up. You can see the waves in the water when they break through the surface. We have had people who are worried that all our big fish are going out into other people's fields from the overflow. I'm not so worried about it. Of course I don't like it, but we have to accept the facts that this year the rain for the rainy season came 2-3 months too late. It should have been here 2-3 months ago, and not now, in the middle of the summer, in the middle of April, May, June. Not now. And when you have been driving around in Thailand, in Isan areas, you would be able to see a lot of people cutting their grasses, cutting their rice. We call them grasses sometimes by mistake. Oops, there was a big sound of a big fish. And now you have the bird that are eating the fish. Those are healthy signs in my point of view. I still don't have the pot, the extended arm to carry the camera. So as I'm walking, the camera will be shaking a bit. But right now I cannot really see it in the camera. So, but when you have been traveling around in the area, you can see people cutting their rice 2, 3, 4, 5 times because it's not growing the way they want it to. And now I'm coming up to the bend, the 90-degree bend that we have in our big canal, the klong. And when you look here, you will see the pak bong. This is the vegetable that Thai people love to grow and to eat. But the funny part is, if you don't handle it in the right way, it will take over the fields, just like weed. And they will be very difficult to get rid of in the fields. When I asked Na Leung for pak bong, and she brought them around, I was excited. Now I'm not so sure that the idea is as good as I thought they were, because if they're growing into the dikes and onto the dikes on the other side of where they were planted, then suddenly you will have them crawling into the rice fields. And when they crawl into the rice fields, it is a big problem to get rid of them from there. But we have been talking about cutting them away. Not getting rid of them, but to shorten them, because it is food for the fish. And we want foods that the fish can eat. The natural food. The things that are growing around here that will drop into the water and the fish will come and eat it. Grasses and pak bong and Israel grass. And up here you have, I don't know if you can see it because I cannot see it in the camera, but up here we have the green stuff down there that are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them are sweet potatoes. Those leaves are very good food for the fish too. I have been told by people from India that just to feed them with sweet potatoes and they will grow very, very extremely fast. Up here you have the lower area where the fish can go in and feed on the grasses that are growing there, because this is where the ledge or the shelf down to the klong from before, you can still see it down the lane, that there is a ledge that is higher than the water, but up here the water has become higher than the ledge, which is not such a bad idea, but it's difficult to grow anything on that ledge, even though we have tried to put up things there. When I come down here, you will be able to see, there you have the white bird. And up here you have another small bird with a long tail. I cannot see the color, so I don't know what kind of a bird it is. But I love it. Yes, they do eat a lot of the fish. Yes, they might eat all the babies, all the smaller fish. I don't worry about that. Of course, it's not nice when they eat everything. But this white bird is almost like a national bird in this country. I read missionaries talking about huge colonies on the way up to Pakret from Bangkok. Kokret. And they were so huge in those days that they became a bit of a nuisance for the trees. But since they were staying in the temple areas, people could not touch them. Last year, we had one of those white birds going into the net of the fish that Nalung put up for the fish. And our good friend, she wanted to have the bird to eat it. Oh, she was so excited about getting it. But as I wanted Nalung to do, she let it go. And up here you can see how the cement tube is lower than the water around it. And I can see one of the fish down there, a big one. So it's true, they are there, and I can see waves of water coming up from small fish that are popping up. Now the fish went down, but the water is going in here, and then it is running out here. And if you could see it, you will see how the water is streaming down. Before the heavy rain, I already made cleaned the area from the grasses and the weeds that were there. And then I removed some soil to make it easier for the water to flow. And it is still flowing, but if I don't clean it very soon, then the overflow water will not be able to flood through it. And then it is flooding into the sisters area.